So this is just the same theorem as the first theorem. Basically that A is congruent to B mod M if and only if they have the same remainder. They're in the same box. Same thing. So I'm not going to prove that one. It's more of just grinding out the definition and seeing why that's true. If they have the same remainder, they're going to end up in the same box. That's the same little experiment we did with 0 and 1 and mod 2. So why work with congruences? Because they work like equalities. There's a list of things that, he has it under a theorem, but if it was like a calc textbook, it should be in one of those blue boxes that are highlighted. This is the important stuff you really need to know. This is it. Obviously, A should be congruent to A, which by definition you can see why that's true, because if you subtracted A and looked at, you get A minus A, which is 0. You did that with numbers already in the in-class assignment. A equals B means B equals A. A is congruent to B means that B is congruent to A. So that reflexive properties there, that you can add equations. Number 3 is pretty important, that you can take A congruent to B mod M and C congruent to D mod M and add the equations to each other. You have transitivity, that if A is congruent to B and B is congruent to C, then A is congruent to C. And you can even multiply equations. If A is congruent to B mod M and C is congruent to D mod M, then AR is congruent to BD mod M. What's missing? What do you think would be missing off of a list of things that you know about from equalities? They got addition. Subtraction is the same thing, right? They got multiplication. Division's missing. So that's the one that falls apart. This is your homework for next week. It's off of congruences. And I believe the week after we have an exam. Right. So this material is on the exam. I don't have any surprises. I mean, I'm not going to spin off some problem that you've never seen before. Most of it's stuff you have seen before.
You're saying the one for congruences, that's what we did today?
No, next Wednesday.
Yes.
That's on the.
What did we do today?
Yes. This homework that I'm assigning. It's the same thing. Instead of being on a quiz, it's on the test. So we'll talk about division next time, because I want to walk back to anybody who wants to get their quiz, because I think that's important for you to study from. Look at what mistakes you might have made on this particular quiz.